Today we're going to talk about alternative ways to cook during disasters or emergencies. So what we have in front of you here today is a couple of alternative cooking methods that I have stored away in case of disaster or emergency. A lot of people will store a lot of food and think they're going to cook it on their barbecue outside. Well, what's going to happen? Everybody's going to smell it. Everybody's going to know you have food. Everybody's going to want to take your food. That's a worst case scenario. Chances are that's not going to happen, but people have nosy neighbors. Maybe you don't want to let them know that you're a prepper. And maybe you're just cooking for something as simple as a gas or power outage, and you don't want to let the whole world know that you are prepared. So anyway, what I brought out today is a couple examples of different types of ways that I have set up in my house for cooking during an emergency or disaster. If you'll notice in the middle, it's your basic old camping stove. I think it's a Brinkmann. I bought it at Walmart for $29, $30. Been using it a lot for camping, for power outages. We had a 2-day power outage here back in 2007. That's what I cooked on because our house is all electric. So our stove was pretty much out of commission. I'll try and move the camera down to make it a better look at it. That's pretty much it. That's what we got right there. It's pretty simple. You connect your 1 pound thing of propane, 1 pound canister of propane, and you're good to go. It's right there. You got everything you need. But it's only 2 burners, and you can't bake with it. So that led me into, what if I want to bake some bread with my breakfast? What if I want to bake a cake during an emergency? I mean, who knows? Anyway, bake chicken, That led me to this guy over here. I'm going to move this tripod again. This little Coleman stove here, it's really an oven. I'm going to get in the camera to show you. It's really an oven, but it's really thin. And it folds out. Tear it apart, but it's a pain in the neck to put back together again. It folds out and basically folds out into an oven. This part comes here, opens, and it opens up into an oven, kind of like an accordion. Neat little thing, but I found it didn't get the temperature, and its top temperature that it can get to is only around 250. It's marked up to 300, but that won't do you much good if you're going to cook something and you need to cook it at a higher temperature. It's great for reheating, maybe making some instant biscuits or whatever, but it's not really a solution for what I want. So I kind of moved up to, that's not going to stand. Let's put it flat. Kind of moved up to this puppy over here. This guy right here. Now this again is a propane powered stove. It is a Brinkmann. Its top temperature, it says 700. Let me put the camera steady here. You'll have to forgive me. I'm working with a very old shaky tripod. It says its top temperature is 700. I've baked stuff at 400 in it. I think we baked bread in this. As you can see, it looks pretty much like an oven inside. Now I'm going to bring you a little closer to look in there. You got your pilot light underneath. Under there, if you need to light it. And again, it uses the 1 pound propane connector there. I do have an adapter. You can see that kind of off to the right here. That's my adapter to connect it to a 20 pound propane tank. This guy really works. He's very well insulated. He's very well made. I think this was $53 or $54. It looks kind of neat, but looks kind of clean, but I have used it a few times. And generally, as a rule, I clean up my stuff after using it. So that's probably why it looks so clean. But anyway, it just gives you another chance, another opportunity to do something different. It comes with a little baking pan. You've got your 2 racks in here. And it's got an electric starter on the side that will start the fire. It actually still works. I was kind of surprised because I bought this about 6 years ago. And I've probably only used it twice. But anyway, that gives you some idea. You definitely want to be thinking about how you're going to be cooking in an emergency. Now, the question comes up a lot. Do you use this inside your house? Well, I have. Our house is very well ventilated, but I've never had a problem with it. as long as you're not going overboard, you're using it in a well-ventilated open area, I don't think you'll have a problem with this. It helps to install a CO2 detector, and you definitely by now should have some smoke alarms in the house too. But I haven't had a problem with this at all. You know, I'll open my back. Our kitchen is right off of where our outside screened-in patio is. So, I mean, if I'm really getting a little concerned because I'm cooking a lot, I open that up. I'm good to go. Now, I have a couple different types of stoves. I also have a gas, an older, I believe it's 1960s older Coleman, fully restored gas stove that, you know, the old kind with the red container here that you'd pump up. That works really good, but I find it lets off a lot more fumes than the propane ones like this. That's pretty much it. You know, just giving you some ideas out there. You can bake during an emergency. You can cook during an emergency. I used to love to pull this out when we lost power here. And where I live is rather rural in Nevada, and we would lose power maybe once every few months in the winter. And I considered it a drill. I would get this stuff, I would pull it out. The problem was, by the time I pulled it out, the power came back on, and I felt like an idiot. But at least I was getting practice with it. But the stuff is great. You know, it doesn't have to be expensive. You don't have to go to REI and buy a $500 ultralight camping stove. It really won't be that practical for use in your home. Something like this will be. So anyway, those are my quick little ideas for you. You got your oven and your stove. Together, I think this is probably under $100 worth of stuff. You want to stock up on some propane. See your little propane canisters over there. If you don't want to store those, because sometimes those have a tendency to leak, the cheaper ones do, you can always get the adapter that I have over there, where my finger is, and you can use the 20-pound propane bottles. Those things will run for an eternity with one of these ovens or stoves. These don't take a lot of gas. In that entire 2 days that I cooked every meal on it, I think I went through half of one of those 1-pound propane tanks. So all in all, that's it. Hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to subscribe. I have a lot more neat stuff coming up in the future, so thanks for watching.